So this is a story about people fighting back, real workers. You know, the Democrats and politicians always like to give lip service to the workers, except when the workers actually join together and they actually have power, and then they don't like them. Well, who am I talking about? I'm talking about the Canadian truckers who have shut down the Capitol. GoFundMe, they had a GoFundMe. They raised something like $10 million for them, and then GoFundMe wasn't going to give it to them. They were going to give it to other charities. I'm not kidding. And DeSantis in Florida threatened to sue them. Anyway, GoFundMe is going to refund millions of dollars in donations made to the viral Canadian trucker protest. GoFundMe will automatically refund all donations made to the multi-million-dollar campaign for a group of Canadian truckers protesting vaccine mandates. The fundraising platform announced Saturday after it started to face fierce backlash from right-wing figures and Republican politicians over its decision to remove the online campaign. The decision to remove the campaign page from its platform. Wait a minute. I know I have jokes with this. There it is. Yeah, so they like to make it out like, oh, just right-wing politicians and Republican politicians. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the people who donated were fucking pissed off too, but they don't have any power to do anything about it. You know, all the regular people who donated. Jesus Christ. And luckily they're... Anyway, all right. So the decision to remove the campaign page from its platform came Friday after the company said the demonstrations being funded by the campaign had become an occupation, sparking incidents of violence and other illegal activity. Sparking incidents of violence? Well, should I just take your word on that? Or are you going to show me it? Because you never showed me it. Are you guys trying to Ned Price me over here, if you know what I'm talking about? What sparked what incidents? Sparking incidents. What did? The occupation spark the incidents? What, was someone killed? Were someone beat up? No mention of anything. Not even going to give me the they were peaceful but fiery. Nothing like that. You're just going to straight up fucking Ned Price me here. And who said this? Anyway, okay. On Friday, the company said donors could submit a request for a refund until February 19th. It had already released $1 million of the funds to organizers, but said that any remaining funds would be distributed to verified charities selected by the Freedom Convoy 2022 organizers. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. GoFundMe's decision to end the campaign and direct funds to charities sparked ire from right-wing and conservative figures who urged people not to use the fundraising platform. Former President Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., urged Republican attorneys general to launch investigations into the site. Remember, it's not what you say, it's whether we like a more powerful person who tweeted support for what you just said. That's what this is about. And it's this framing of this is just amazing. It's just so workers, truck drivers, 20% of the truck drivers, and probably more of them agree with them, but they don't own their own trucks. These are just people who own their own trucks. And I'm guessing most truck drivers don't, so they can't participate. I bet you would be. So they're workers, but not the right kind of workers that we like. Anyway, all right, hang on. And so they're breaking everybody up into two groups. Everything in this world now is either pro-Trump or anti-Trump. Everything. And everybody has to play for a team. That's everybody now. And that's why your problems like healthcare or being robbed by a tech company for protesting absolute loss of bodily autonomy are a minor concern in our fake democracy, which should be called Crips versus Bloods Honky Edition. Actually, maybe it's a little cheap to characterize our two ruling parties as Crips and Bloods. Sure, they use the same blue and red colors, but the street gangs at least ensure access to affordable pharmaceuticals. So technically, they're doing more for their communities, and with a lower overall body count worldwide. That's what the gangs are actually doing. The Canadian caravan had originally seen truckers protesting vaccine mandates and pandemic restrictions, but the effort has quickly grown thanks to the support of the alt-right fringe groups and pro-Trump supporters. Wow. Poof. Couldn't be more clear. I'm guessing the fringe group is the 20% of truckers in Canada, not the 0.01% of the powerful people who want to suppress this enormous protest. They're not a fringe group. Trump supporters, by the way, this is effing Canada. What does Trump have to do with any of this? Is Trump, is he going to be running for Prime Minister of Canada? Is that what this is? GoFundMe told BuzzFeed News on Wednesday it was reviewing the campaign to ensure it was complying with its rules. On Friday, the company announced it was removing the page for violating its rules. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previously peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activity, the company said in a statement. The company said the Ottawa Police Service thanked GoFundMe for its decision. Isn't that amazing? Well, I guess we could trust the police again, because that's what the police said. They gave us their word for it. I guess GoFundMe supports Blue Lives Matter. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? GoFundMe backtracks on redistributing money for Canadian truckers under threat of a fraud investigation. Wah, wah. Well, how did they not know that's fraud? I guess here we go. GoFundMe supports peaceful protests, and we believe that was the intention of the Freedom Convoy 2022 fundraiser when it was first created. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previously peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activity. There has been little or to no reports of documented violence at the protest. But they just get to say it. They just say it. They keep saying occupation. Isn't that something? What about, remember when there was a thing called Occupy Wall Street? I guess that was okay, but occupying, this is not, now it's bad. Occupying Ottawa is bad, but occupying Wall Street, good. So different kind of occupy. Okay. But GoFundMe promoted an occupation in 2020 when it shared a fundraiser for the Capitol Hill Occupy protest in Seattle.
Is that the Chaz? Is that what they're referring to?
I don't know what they're referring to. Critics of the company's haphazard cancellation include Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who questioned whether there is a double standard given past fundraisers for legal funds in defense of Antifa members and criminal protesters. Yeah. I'm sure the police told GoFundMe that Antifa is violent. GoFundMe didn't redistribute their donations, did they? Doesn't that clash with GoFundMe's policy of believing all cops? I mean, come on. Come on. The GoFundMe page to support the Freedom Convoy of Canadian truckers was approaching $10 million as of Monday evening, which is more money than the major federal political parties of Canada raised during the last quarter in 2020. Wow. They're more popular than both the political parties, or all three of them. How many parties they have up there? 4 or 5? I don't know in Canada. I'm not sure. I know they have at least 3,
We got more than that.
So that's the problem. They're raising more money than the mainstream political parties in Canada. This is an emergency. Oh, my God. Who cares about poor people? But it's the violence. And in 2019, Israel Folau, a Tungian Australian Christian athlete sacked by Rugby Australia for posting a Bible verse about salvation, was denied use of the service over his religious beliefs on sexuality. That's true.
I remember that.
He was forced to end his rugby career in May after posting a picture on Instagram saying, "Hell awaits you," with a list of sinners, including homosexuals, adulterers, liars, and then said they must repent to Jesus to be saved. Really? Australia's GoFundMe regional manager, Nicola Britton, said in a statement that FOLA was removed because the platform does not tolerate the promotion of discrimination or exclusion. Yes, they won't tolerate exclusion except if they don't like your religious views. Don't get me wrong, you can have reprehensible views, but they have to like them, though. So GoFundMe suspended a fundraiser by Candace Owens, created to help an Alabama bar following controversial comments made by its owner about George Floyd and protesters, according to multiple reports. Really? Owens, a conservative political activist, expressed her support and helped raise more than $200,000 for Birmingham Parkside Cafe. Its co-owner, Michael Dykes, had previously said Floyd was a thug and that protesters were idiots in a text message that was posted online. GoFundMe removed the campaign, citing a violation of their terms of service based on a screenshot Owens posted online. It specifically referenced user content the company deemed to be in support of hate, violence, harassment, bullying, discrimination, terrorism, or intolerance of any kind. Last year, GoFundMe removed a fundraiser for a Texas nurse seeking to sue a hospital after being terminated over the hospital's vaccination mandate. Wow. Jennifer Bridges, a registered nurse and the lead plaintiff in a lawsuit against Houston Methodist Hospital, said her director called her to ask if she'd gotten the vaccine yet or made any effort to do so. She said that when she replied absolutely not, she was told she was terminated. Bridges started a GoFundMe campaign to cover the legal cost of fighting the termination. The campaign raised over $180,000 before the site axed the page completely, citing misinformation. When our team initially reviewed the fundraiser, it was within our terms of service, and the funds were for legal fees to fight vaccine mandates. GoFundMe spokesman Heidi Hegeberg said in a statement to Business Insider, the fundraiser has since been updated to include misinformation, which violates our terms of service. So GoFundMe is just, again, they're all, no matter what it is, if it's PayPal, whether it's Patreon, whether it's GoFundMe, they're all, that's it. They're the oligarchy, and they're not there to help you. They're here to make money off your pain and suffering, and if you do anything that upsets the apple cart, they'll shut you down. And that's all this is. This is more censorship, but Chomsky he's not going to be worried about this kind of censorship. This is not what bothers him. What bothers him is people who want to go to libraries, who I don't know who those people are anymore, but he says there are people out there who want to go there to libraries. And anyway,
does he not spend a lot of time on the old computer machine?
How often you go into a library today, Chomps? I don't think he's going to libraries. Anyway, so there you are. That's what's happening. That's what GoFundMe sucks, but everybody sucks. It's just like Amazon sucks, but it's just like everything sucks. What am I going to do? Shell Oil sucks, but I got to drive a car. I got to ride in a plane. I got to get on a bus. I'm patronizing fossil fuels every time I make a move. What are you going to do? Right? I use an Apple computer. Don't they use slave labor? I don't know.
And then I watch a commercial made by BP telling me I've got to get my carbon footprint down.
Yes.
From BP.
From BP. So, I don't know. It's one big clown show. And the people who are running it are the biggest criminals. Hey, we're doing live stand-up shows in Los Angeles, February 5th, February 12th, February 18th, February 20th, we're in Philadelphia, and then February 26th, back here in Los Angeles in Studio City at our 60-seat theater. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all tickets, and while you're there, become a premium member, get access to all our premium content.